I mean, this, to me, was the biggest thing. On June 14th, 2017, the media reported that the special counsel's office was investigating whether the president obstructed justice. Press reports called this a major turning point in the investigation, while Comey had told the president he was not under investigation following Comey's firing. The president was now under investigation. The president reacted to this news with a series of tweets criticizing the Department of Justice and the special counsel's investigation. On June 17, 2017, the president called his attorney, Don McGahn, at home and directed him to call the acting attorney general, which I believe was Rod Rosenstein at the time, and say that the special counsel had conflicts of interest and must be removed. McGahn did not carry out the direction, however, deciding that he would resign rather than trigger what he regarded as a potential Saturday night massacre. I mean, that's blinking red lights, obstruction of justice. You're calling your personal attorney to then contact Rod Rosenstein and fire the special prosecutor. By the way, Trump as president had the right to fire the special prosecutor, but clearly he was doing it because they were investigating him. And I want to make clear something. Because I think it's important. Based on press reports call this a major turning point in the investigation. While Comey had told the president he was not under investigation following Comey's firing, the president was now under investigation. So just because Trump was trying to obstruct justice and get the special prosecutor removed doesn't mean he was trying to get the special prosecutor removed to cover up that his campaign colluded with the Russian government. In fact, I said from the beginning, if you recall, if you watched me when I was at the Young Turks, I think the main thing Trump has always tried to cover up is his money laundering through Russian oligarchs, through Saudi Arabia, and other countries. I live in New York. I'm from New York. It's pretty much a known fact that since the 1980s, when he came up as this big real estate mogul, there was money laundering going on, shady deals with the Russian mafia, and many other things like that. So we don't know. I can't get in his mind, but it is possible that Trump was trying to get Mueller removed because he didn't want an investigation, period. Because he did not want anything having to do with Donald Trump and Russia investigated, because if that was investigated, there's a lot underneath that cover when it comes to Trump, money, Russia, and money. So one thing doesn't automatically mean the other. Just because he was trying to get Mueller removed doesn't mean he was afraid of, like, there's some that he did something or his campaign did something to coordinate with the Russian government. I think it was that he was afraid for an investigation, period, because he knows that if they look into his money, if they look into his financial deals with Russia dating back to the 1980s, he might not be indicted while he's the president, but right after he leaves that White House, he's going in that suit, he's going in that jacket. He's going in that jacket, and he's going to a federal penitentiary. If the law applies to powerful people, which, we know that it doesn't apply to the Clintons or anyone else really that makes a lot of money and has bought off the corporations, bought off the judges, and bought off the oligarchy. So he might not actually go to prison. We'll see. So that was one. Don McGahn, basically good on Don McGahn for not, following up on Trump's efforts to obstruct the investigation and justice. Corey Lewandowski, who never officially worked for the Trump campaign, not the Trump campaign, for the Trump White House. He did obviously work for the campaign as campaign chairman. 2 days after directing McGahn to have the special counsel removed, the president made another attempt to affect the course of the Russia investigation. On June 19, 2017, the president met one-on-one in the Oval Office with his former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, a trusted advisor outside the government, and dictated a message for Lewandowski to deliver to Sessions. The message said that Sessions should publicly announce that notwithstanding his recusal from the Russia investigation, the investigation was very unfair to the president. The president had done nothing wrong, and Sessions planned to meet with the special prosecutor and let him move forward with investigating election meddling for future elections. Lewandowski said he understood what the president wanted Sessions to do. 1 month later, in another private meeting with Lewandowski on July 19, 2017, the president asked about the status of his message for Sessions to limit the special counsel investigation to future election interference. Lewandowski told the president that the message would be delivered soon. Hours after that meeting, the president publicly criticized Sessions in an interview with the New York Times and then issued a series of tweets making it clear that Sessions' job was in jeopardy. Lewandowski did not want to deliver the president's message personally, so he asked senior White House official Rick Dearborn to deliver it to Sessions. Dearborn was uncomfortable with the task and did not follow through. So there you have, Corey. It's like hot potato. Like, oh, I don't want to go to jail for Donald Trump, so let me stick it on this guy to basically do illegal things. And then Dearborn was like, I don't want to do this illegal thing to protect Donald Trump, so nobody did it. So on one end, like, kudos to these people. I mean, it was more self-preservation than, oh, I'm an upstanding patriot and I'm not going to help Donald Trump break the law. It's called cover your ass. Ooh. I was trying not to get demonetized today, damn it. The other thing is, Trump is so beyond just corrupt, beyond just, like acting as a mafia boss. He's also an idiot. Okay, so you're going to have Jeff Sessions dictate to the special counsel that the investigation is now going to shift to investigating future election meddling for 2020. That's not the job of the special prosecutor. That's the job of the FBI. The FBI, the CIA, intelligence agencies would be looking at current and future threats. So Trump, he's just an idiot. Anyway. Then you have the Trump Tower meeting, which, here we go. In the summer of 2017, the president learned that media outlets were asking questions about the June 9th, 2016 meeting at Trump Tower between senior campaign officials, including Donald Trump Jr., and a Russian lawyer who was said to be offering damaging information about Hillary Clinton as part of Russia and its government support for Mr. Trump. On several occasions, the president directed aides not to publicly disclose the emails setting up the June 9th meeting, suggesting that the emails would not leak and that the number of lawyers with access to them should be limited. Before the emails became public, the president edited a press statement for Trump Jr. by his son by deleting a line that acknowledged that the meeting was with an individual who Trump Jr. was told might have information helpful to the campaign, and instead said only that the meeting was about adoptions of Russian children. When the press asked questions about the president's involvement in Trump Jr.'s statement, the president's personal lawyer repeatedly denied the president had played any role. So here, again, I think what Trump was really doing, it's just my opinion, I don't know, you can't get in his mind. I don't necessarily think he was trying to cover up these things because he was deathly afraid, oh my God, they're going to find that, I colluded with Putin, or my campaign colluded with the Russian government to hack the emails or distribute the emails. I think he was afraid of any inspection of him and Russia. So he didn't want to make it look like he didn't want any information really out there about his campaign meeting with a Russian lawyer that might have ties to the Russian government, because underneath the pot wasn't collusion. He was worried about going to jail for money laundering. He was worried about going to jail for having ties to Russian mafia. He was worried about going to jail for, how many crooked deals might he have done with Russia? And then first you look at Russia, then you go to Saudi Arabia, then you go to the United Arab Emirates. That's my opinion. But these are all, we should also say, I'm not trying to minimize any of this because it's all illegal. It's all corrupt. It's not anything that's shocking. What I'm telling you, what we're finding out about Donald Trump today, wouldn't shock anyone that has a brain. But it's still, we shouldn't normalize it. This is corrupt intent. This is illegal behavior. It's not so different than what Richard Nixon did. And honestly, Richard Nixon would have not been forced to resign. And he probably wouldn't have been impeached without the tape. The only difference is here, we don't have the tape recordings. If any of this stuff was on tape recordings, Donald Trump would be, him and Melania would dump him on the way out, would be on the first flight out of there because he'd have to resign. So that's the difference here. It's not so different. Him dictating Don McGahn to get rid of the special counsel. Him dictating to Corey Lewandowski to make Sessions, send a message to Sessions that he needs to move Mueller off of looking into the 2016 election and start looking into meddling in 2020, which obviously shows that he was lying all along. Well, if he said I don't believe that Russia had anything to do with the meddling in 2016, why would he be telling Mueller to start looking into Russia's meddling of 2020? Obviously, he never believed that. I think the Russia meddling thing was overblown. That, based on, so fake Facebook pages, things like that. Even if you want to say, yes, Russia hacked Hillary Clinton's emails, Podesta's emails and the DNC's emails and this and that. I have thought the narrative that Russia influenced the election, that people in Michigan, that Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, that they actually changed their vote or decided their vote based on the DNC leaks, based on Podesta leaks. There's no evidence for that. I've read the exit polls in all of these states, so you don't have to. The number one thing that was the factor for these voters was trade. I'm talking about NAFTA, brought to you by Bill Clinton, endorsed by Hillary Clinton, and immigration. But these are not normal things. This is obstruction of justice. These are criminal. These are crimes. And we need to start talking, like I said in the beginning of this not live stream, we need to start talking about what is this cockamamie, ridiculous guideline at the Department of Justice that a president of the United States can't be indicted. Well, if a sitting president of the United States can't be indicted, what's to stop a sitting president of the United States from doing what Trump did? If he can't be indicted, well, you could say, well, he could be indicted after. Well, so what? If the point is to get rid of a criminal president while he is president, well, it's not a guarantee you're going to be able to get rid of a criminal president if that criminal president's party, aka the Republican Party, is in control of the Senate. Again, it's not the 1970s. You're not going to have Democrats and Republicans for the good of the country come together to get rid of Richard Nixon, or in this case, Donald Trump, because the Republican Party is afraid. They are afraid of losing power, and they would lose power because Trump's base is still big enough that those Republicans would be voted out the next election they're in. All right, moving on. So, yes, Trump was trying to cover up that meeting in Trump Tower. Then you have, in early summer 2017, the president called Sessions at home and asked him to reverse his recusal from the Russia investigation. Sessions did not reverse his recusal. In October 2017, the president met privately with Sessions in the Oval Office and asked him to take a look at investigating Clinton. In December 2017, shortly after Flynn pleaded guilty pursuant to a cooperation agreement, the president met with Sessions at the Oval Office and suggested, according to notes taken by a senior advisor, that if Sessions unrecused and took back supervision of the Russia investigation, he would be a hero. The president told Sessions, "I'm not going to do anything or direct you to do anything. I just want to be treated fairly." Hey, Jeff, I'm not like directing you to do anything here. I'm not telling you what to do here. You know? I'm just being treated unfairly. I mean, come on, dude. President told Sessions, "I'm not going to do anything or direct you to do anything," wink, wink. "I just wanted to be treated fairly," wink, wink. In response, Sessions volunteered that he has never seen anything improper on the campaign and told the president there was a whole new leadership team in place. He did not unrecuse. So there you have, again, he's trying to get Sessions to act. He's not telling him to do anything or direct you to do anything, but I'm just being treated very unfairly. Trump wanted him to unrecuse. That was the subtle message there. Another one. After he tried to get McGahn to remove the special counsel in June 2017, and that McGahn had then threatened to resign rather than carry out the order. The president reacted to the news stories by directing White House officials to tell McGahn to dispute the story and create a record stating he had not been ordered to have the special counsel removed. So the news reports started coming out that Trump had ordered McGahn to get rid of the special the special counsel, and Trump wanted McGahn to go out and lie and say that's not true. McGahn told those officials, that the media reports were accurate in stating that the president had directed McGahn to have the special counsel removed. The president then met with McGahn in the Oval Office and again pressured him to deny the reports. In the same meeting, the president also asked McGahn why he had told the special counsel about the president's efforts to remove the special counsel and why McGahn took notes of his conversations with the president. McGahn refused to back away from what he remembered happening and perceived the president to be testing his mettle. So, first, you ask McGahn to get rid of the special prosecutor, then you ask McGahn to deny you did that, and then you ask McGahn, why are you taking notes? Because President Trump, for those of you that don't know, he doesn't have an email account, he doesn't send emails, he doesn't send text messages, and he doesn't like people making notes because mafia bosses want no written trail. They want no trail, period. And, good on Don McGahn, whether it was courage and patriotism or just cover your own ass, he didn't do it.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.